She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hello, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. I forgot what was next. What was next?
Your name.
Oh, my name's Isaiah. These last couple of weeks we've been interviewing people and seeing how different personalities work in an office space, and today we're going over the Emeralds, who are motivated by facts and figures. Enjoy.
My name is Rachel.
And what do you do for the company?
I am the director of the Dani Johnson Show, and I also do a lot of our media buying.
This is Jeremy Holden, and I work in the marketing department. I do lots of updates on the website and behind-the-scenes technical stuff.
Nate Puchek, I work in IT, and I basically try to make things not be broken.
So talk to me as if I'm like your boss at work, and we're just trying to figure out how to best like communicate with each other as we work together. So what do you like to receive when you've done something well? Like, what do you like to be given back in response after you've accomplished something well?
Honestly, just simple recognition of the job that was done, maybe even notes on what I did well on it. Like, I really appreciated the way that you went above and beyond in this specific area, because that shows me the best way to move forward and keep getting that type of result. Because if you just say, awesome job, I could take the wrong thing and keep increasing and doing more of something that's not helpful. So, specificity.
I like just to get a, thank you, great job, that was awesome, really, and with specifics about, I liked how you did this really well, and, this is why. So kind of getting that feedback of not just that I did a good job, but what I did that was, that made it a good job.
And I like being told, like, from the heart that I've done a good job, not just like, great, but actually like a deep, like a meaningful thank you, not just like, good job, next, So I like when other people, like, when the whole department is also told, like, so, I mean, I really appreciate when it's just me and my boss, and like Brian congratulating me on something, but I really like when, like, the whole department knows, oh, Rachel, got this done, or met this number, or whatever, and it's really awesome, even if it's just a short, little 30-second thing, so, yeah.
How should I address issues or when things are done incorrectly?
I never do things incorrectly. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I mess up a lot.
Honestly, just straightforward, unfiltered, but polite conversation. Like, I don't need a lot of roundabout, super careful eggshell stepping. I just want you to tell me in your words what needs to change and what we need to do to move forward. And then we can work it out and then solve the problem and move forward. But I don't need a lot of super careful wording or super precise phrasing. I'm not going to get offended if you just list out what needs to happen and what we need to do to accomplish that.
I appreciate when things are pointed out to me right when they happen. I don't like, oh, hey, remember a month ago when you did this thing? That wasn't cool. Or whatever. I like just knowing right when it like, as soon as I can be told that I did something wrong, I like knowing, and it doesn't have to be sugar-coated. I mean, I'd appreciate it if I wasn't like talked down to or, told I was an idiot or anything like that, which never has happened here, but just for interview's sake. But yeah, I just like being told as soon as something happens what the problem was, and maybe some ideas about how I could fix it.
Give suggestions on what you'd like to see different, not just, that was kind of same thing as the other, as a good job is if something is not done correctly, some details on, what was incorrect or how it could be better, just so that I really have a good understanding of, like, what the expectation is, and, what I need to do in order to improve or correct, mistakes in the future.
How can I show you that I appreciate you, support you, and want what's best for you?
Being there when I need something taken care of. A lot of times roadblocks are I don't have the information I'm looking for, or I don't have permission to proceed in a certain area, or I'm running into roadblocks with other teams, and sometimes I don't communicate well with the other teams. So if whoever's in charge or helping manage me can either A, build the bridges between me and other teams, or get the information I'm looking for, or kind of move the roadblocks out of the way so that we can get everything taken care of.
So Brian is really awesome about this. He makes a place for me to be able to tell him, my career goals or what I enjoy doing and what I found in my job that I really like and what I don't like so much. And so he's really good about telling me, like, I want to help you do what you want. I want you to like coming into work. I want you to be excited to be here. I don't want you to just like, oh, another day in the office. So he's really good about that. So I think that's what it is just creating a space for me to be able to speak my mind and not feel like I have to say the right thing, but be able to say things even if it's like, what I'm doing right now isn't my favorite thing in the world, which I've never actually said that, but just for hypothetical purposes, I guess.
Appreciate and support what was best. Asking questions, specific questions.
It's a big question.
It is a big question, and having a lot of times I need like specific questions asked so that I know like specifically how to respond.
Right.
Vague generalities are hard to like figure out where to direct those things. So just like, how's it going, how you feeling is a really hard question to answer.
Gotcha.
So what would be like an example of like a non-general question that I could ask you to show that I support you and stuff? Which, like, instead of like how's it going, be like how's the family doing? Is that specific enough, or is that
even more specific? Like to maybe that as an opening question. How's the family doing? But then to go deeper and depending on what my response to that question is, get more specific about so
right.
say great, kids are doing great in school or whatever, or really, what are they learning, that kind of, so kind of to take another step further, to kind of probe deeper, and how's, if it's things about, work and job, not just, how you feeling about, how things are going, with your job, be specific about, like, how's this project going, do you have what you need here, are there things that are missing, what do you need from me, what do you need from, other people, to really get an idea of what's going on.
Right.
So, because it gives my mind a direction to, because my mind has so many details going on all the time that really big, vague umbrella type question is like, okay, my mind's like trying to figure out, okay, what details are you looking for? What can I focus in on? Because I've got so much stuff that I'm thinking about that it's trying to figure out, pull that needle out of the haystack in a sense, to be able to answer a big question when it's really helpful to know, okay, what is the information that is going to be helpful to you so that I can answer your question appropriately.
What is the best way for us to work through communication issues?
Oh, just straight, like, I just want to know what the problems are so that we can, like, solve them and then move on and just not have to spend a lot of time dealing with communication issues. Like, I would rather be in a really heated conversation with somebody for 30 minutes than have passive-aggressive behavior happen for months and all to just lead to a blow-up. Like, I just want to know and just move past it and just solve it so that we can do other things.
Just being open and upfront, and you know where if it's a problem with communication, like where is the breakdown, so that you know we can just kind of head on, tackle that and get to the bottom of it.
Probably just step aside, do a one-on-one, and say, hey, this is what's happening. We are having some bit of disagreement here. Here's how some people are perceiving this happening, and this is something we need to solve. So together, let's go ahead and figure this out, work through this, and find a good solution for this.
So you're not the type of person that would take it personally, or like if it's not...
If I did, that would be my own problem, and that would be something that I would work through on my own. Which I don't know if that's just specific to me or if all emeralds think that way. But I tend to not take things personally, but in the past when I have, I'm pretty quick at working through it and realizing the difference between something that I did and me as a person. So.
How should I motivate you towards goals?
With specifics again. It sounds like a broken record. But yeah, specifics like what is expected to be able to reach the goal, steps along the way to be able to achieve a goal, and recognizing that, when especially a preliminary step towards an overall goal has been achieved, saying, okay, we did this, great, here's what's next, so that there's a really obvious roadmap to that end goal, and knowing what is going to be expected and required along the way.
Me personally would be, which this isn't a very emerald thing, I don't think, but time off and celebrating with everybody. So if it was, you meet these deadlines, you can have, Friday off or whatever. That's just me personally. I don't, because then I have, well, okay, maybe it is an emerald thing, because I was about to say, because then I have more time to focus on, like, the other, priorities outside of work in my life, so maybe that is emerald, after all.
For me, and I think this might be the mixture of the pearl and the emerald, is if I can be clearly shown that a goal is achievable and there is specific steps I can take to achieve the goal, then I can immediately hop on and do step 1, and then hop on and do step 2, and then step 3. But if it's just this big pie in the sky, we would love to accomplish this, I'm not necessarily always the best, like, I guess you could say, like, dreamer, or like, but it's a good way for, like, if you can say, well, this is the goal we want to reach, and even I can work out these steps with them, but like if it's clear what they want, how they want, and when they want it, then it's a lot easier for me to get behind getting it taken care of.
What characteristics do you look for in a workplace, either amongst the people or in the environment?
Again, clear roles, knowing who is responsible for what, and especially specifically what am I responsible for, and feeling like I have the ability to continue to make progress, and rather than having to wait for decisions to be made or reviews or approvals, just to be able to continue to make progress and know that the project is moving forward, and as opposed to kind of being unclear as, you know, what's got to happen with it next, or kind of what the time frame or the I can't think of how to best describe it, but yeah, that just being knowing the steps that a project has to go through,
Right.
and so that my expectation is I can set my own expectation for how things are gonna move, and, you know, not get frustrated because it's moving too slow, or, you know, I don't have the right pieces that I need to be able to put it together. So just
having that understanding and knowing exactly like where you're supposed to be at.
where I'm supposed to be at, yeah, and where we need to be and what we need to get there.
I like collaboration a lot. I like not having to be the only person that has a say on something, because I know that my thought or my perspective on something isn't the fullest picture. So I like collaboration, but at the same time I also like being able to just put my headphones in and just work and just get everything done off my checklist, off my to-do list that I check off every day, to just get through everything. Some days I come in and I'm like, I just really don't want to have to socialize at all. I just want to work and like head down, just get things done and leave and not talk to anybody, which is bad. And I have to force myself to interact with people and like take my headphones out, or when I'm, you know, working back here in the editing room, I have to force myself to go leave and like go out and talk to people, because I don't want to be a jerk, or I don't want people to think I'm trying to be a jerk by not talking to them. But then some days I come in and I'm like, let's do team stuff, but a lot of the times I have to, which sounds bad, but because I really love everybody that I work with, but I also like getting things done, and I also like not being interrupted when I'm working. So it's definitely something that I have to work on, is if somebody, you know, comes up to talk, whether it's like a quick personal thing, or even if it's another work-related thing, I have to force myself to, okay, take time for this person. People before tasks, so.
I actually really enjoy places with a lot of encouragement, feedback, good communication between not just side by side and not just management, but just where everyone is a little bit more aware of what everyone else is doing, because if everyone's in their own little pocket, then a lot of times balls are getting dropped and communication is getting confused, and then problems arise. So I really like it when there's clear lines of communication, and I really enjoy when there's response to the communication. Not just like you say something and it's off in the ether and it's like a complaint, but like if you speak to someone about something, there's response back. Like good communication back and forth from like between departments, between employees and management, and even like seeing it happen between managers. You notice that. Like even if they don't know we notice, we can notice when there's good communication between management. So that's a really big deal for me.
What shuts you down the most, either working personally with others or in the work environment itself?
Shuts me down when working with others.
It ticks you off.
Close-minded people, I think. People who are so set on an outcome that they can't open their mind up enough to hear other perspectives or other answers. This kind of contradicts, this is kind of contradictory to the way that I work sometimes, but when people are too fast to make a decision, and they don't, because sometimes that's necessary though, but when people, when there's time to make a decision, but they don't do, oh my gosh, they don't do like any other research or, oh my gosh, this is like hilarious. Okay. When they just make a snap decision and don't think about the consequences of their actions. I'm sorry, I'm like realizing how emerald my thinking is as I'm saying this out loud. But I don't know if that's, I guess what shuts me down is just, oh my gosh, ignorance. No. That's a really good question, and I don't know if I know. Maybe I can just sum it up with closed-mindedness, though, what I said to begin with. So.
I'd have to say arbitrary changes that I don't know why they're happening. Like, I don't like change for the sake of change. I like change when it is making things better. So if I don't know why we're doing something, or I don't see the perceived value in why we're changing something, it's frustrating to me when we change it. It's like, so if I'm having issues with like a change that's happening, if I can have time to ask my questions and figure out why we're doing that, then I can get behind the change and I can be one of the drivers that pushes it forward. But if it just happens and I don't know why, then I'm just kind of frustrated and confused.
When people don't do what they say they're going to do.
All right. Do you want to elaborate, or is that?
No, I think that's pretty, yeah, if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Well, that's it. That's everything.
Yay!
That's all my questions.
I'm so emerald. Oh my god. Okay. Back to it.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thanks so much for watching the Dani Johnson Show this week. If you want to learn more about the GEMS program, head over to danijohnson.com/GEMS. Look at that. So this is the GEMS Mastery program. This is what you would get. Inside you'll get CDs and DVDs, as well as a welcome letter from Dani, just kind of explaining more about the GEMS. And then of course, the GEMS Mastery workbook. And inside it comes with the test, so you can actually take the test and find out which gem you are, as well as just some follow along for the CDs and DVDs. So if you want it, go over to danijohnson.com/GEMS and check it out. Thanks so much.